Headlines tonight. A dangerous firework blew up several buildings at Maison Rost.
A cache of illegal substances were found concealed in a cake.
Water shortages comparable to the 1984 Ethiopian drought.
A stream of desperate thespians caused Maison Rost to be under surveillance.
And here is the news. A cache of illegal substances was found concealed in a cake decorated with icing containing cocaine. After forensic examination, the substance was found to be dried Stilton powder, and a number of guests were released on bail. This year, water shortages at Maison Rost was comparable to the 1984 Ethiopian drought. A spokesman for the family said rations were essential because of drainage problems due to excessive fruit consumption. And now we go over to our roving reporter Julian, who is actually in the house and interviewing the house owner.
Peter, can I ask you a few questions about the party this evening?
Yeah, I'm cancelling it.
So, do you feel that this year's is not going to be effective?
It'll be a worse disaster than any other before, or ever again. No, we're getting to our 90s now, and it's about time we decided to join the parties in the old pensioners, old people's homes, rather than trying to organise one ourselves. And when you get to 95, you may feel the same. If you ever get to 95, you don't cut your drinking, you might never reach that age.
Is it true, Peter, that the rumours that you've been rationing water and that some guests have been so desperate and thirsty they've been drinking their own urine?
No, they haven't. They've just been guzzling our wine.
That's not the rumours we've been hearing, Mr. Ross.
Oh, well, you don't want to believe everybody's rumours. Most people won't admit how much they guzzle, will they?
Is it also true that there's a leak in the roof that's caused significant damage to critical party equipment?
That's where we have to put the chimney pot, otherwise we don't get any fires.
So there is a leak in the roof?
Well, of course, every roof with a chimney pot has a leak in it, yes.
And it's caused significant damage to equipment, and
we don't have
that
any
could compromise.
We don't have any equipment. We only have fridges and larders full of rotted food.
Peter, thank you very much. And now it's back over to the studio.
A steady stream of desperate thespians have been seen coming and going to Maison Rost. The usual suspects include a mad musician, a budget film director, a destitute diva, and a manic-depressive mime artist. The house is currently under surveillance. At Maison Rost, a New Year's Eve all-night rave was broken up by the local law enforcement officers when a dangerous firework ignited by Stephen Clark set fire to several adjacent buildings. A number of performance artists were taken into custody. And now we go over to the house where our correspondent is waiting to fill us in on all the latest details.
Hey Louis, if we could just ask you a few questions about the party this evening.
Yes.
Do you feel that the party is going to be effective this year for 2009?
I think it will be effective as an ending of the decade, though I'm not quite sure how the decade itself will feel about that. An ending is also, of course, a beginning, and I'm not sure where the beginning will start, whether it will be after the end, or maybe it's already started.
But do you feel there's actually going to be a beginning, Mrs. Ross? Because apparently, it's my understanding that the roof has collapsed and that there's been water damage to critical party equipment.
Well, the roof didn't quite collapse. We had an incredible downpour that was really unprecedented, obviously a great sign of something stupendous that was coming, and it managed to penetrate parts of the roof which have never been penetrated before. But we managed, yes.
And is it true, Mrs. Ross, that Peter Rost has been rationing water this year, and that some guests have been so thirsty and desperate that they've been forced to drink their own urine?
Well, I think that is a slight exaggeration, only ever so slight, but slight. Yes, he has been a little careful with the water. After all, in the summer we have our water supply, which we try to keep replenished, but until this act of God, when we had this enormous downpour, we really had a very serious drought on our hands, and we were very worried about the vegetable situation.
So the rumours are true then?
Well, not quite true. As all these rumours, there's a smidgen of truth in it, but the exaggeration, well, a little exaggerated.
Hilary Rost, thank you very much. And now it's over to the studio with Jackie.
I've heard that the premises are haunted by the ghosts of a massive moth. Is this merely a vile rumour? Or is it true that a guest who used to be a mime artist was found with 2 holes puncturing his jugular? We go over now to our roving reporter who was in the room where the alleged attack took place.
Yes, Jackie, I'm at Maison Rost at the moment where the alleged attack actually occurred. In this very room, in fact. The moth had a wingspan of 6 foot and came at one of the guests and attacked his jugular. The guest is now in casualty in Grasse. It is also, to my knowledge, that Hilary and Peter have no concern of this attack whatsoever and were in fact in the living room having drinks at the time of the attack. And oh my God! Ah!
And now for the rest of the news. A duck-billed platypus was found wandering in the high street of Montauroux